And welcome back to Workers and Resources of the Republic. This is episode 28. This is a small sneak peek what's coming in the next 2-3 episodes. I want to upgrade these roads into asphalt, finish the tunnels, upgrade these roads, and focus a lot on this area. Finish all the pipes and the ship loading and unloading station. And hopefully we'll start our first oil export in the next episode. Also, we'll need to expand the trains, so a new train will join the Republic very soon. Alright, let's start with this episode. So, I've been on a 2-week vacation, but you didn't miss any episodes. I made sure I had episodes ready before I go on this vacation. So I didn't play the game for like almost 20 days, I think. So I'm a little bit rusty right now, and let's start with small things. And the problem right now is there's not much content in the game. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a lot of time-lapse to fill in the blanks. Also, in the past I dealt with this issue by simply skipping unnecessary parts, and I think I've been skipping a lot. So I want to change that, and instead of skipping I want to do a time lapse. So let's see how that works out. Tell me in the comments if you prefer it this way, or maybe just continue skipping everything. I'm not really sure why this footpath is giving me so much trouble. Is the terrain too high? Let's try to flatten it with another building. Okay, it should work now. No, it doesn't work. So this probably means there's something underground. Yes, there's a pipe. This is one of the weirdest bugs in the game. I don't know why this happens. So when this happens, there's literally nothing you can do. And this building I can't destroy and build again. It's a heat exchanger, so have to give up on that. The problem is if there's a fire, it's gonna burn 100%. So let's move on from that thing. So the first fuel tank is done. I'm just gonna name it and move on. So I'm expecting to export fuel in this or maybe next episode, 100% next one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it in this one. But anyways, let's deal with this truck and move on. So the pumping harbor is almost... It's not really done. It's gonna take a lot of time for this to finish. It's really slow. So let's leave this area. Now I want to do like the usual check of the city and see if anything's missing, if anything is a problem. I'm noticing people are not so happy, and there's a couple of people missing. I did not notice this when I was playing the game. So I'm gonna ignore the issue right now, but I'm trying to realize here what's happening. I'm gonna realize later, much later. And it's gonna be a little bit too late later, so I'm gonna pay consequences for this. This is one of the issues that probably pushed me back a lot. If I didn't make this mistake, I would probably finish the harbor there faster. But anyways, this is how this game works. Let's move on. So my goal is to do OPEC, but there's no point doing OPEC since I'm not exporting any oil. So let's deal with air traffic. I want to have a fire helicopter in the oil fields because they're gonna burn, and I'm not gonna be able to send any fire trucks there. It's too far away. So we'll have to have a fire helicopter in that area. But for now, let's deal with roads. All of this area needs to be upgraded with asphalt roads. So let's start slowly, one section at a time. No need to go really too much here. It's just gonna slow me down. Anyways, at least money is good. It's been in green for quite some time, so this is really good for paying off the debt. Okay, so like I mentioned previously, there's really lack of content in the game right now, so instead of skipping and cutting a lot of parts, let's just start with our first time lapse. Alright, let's go. Let's slow down for a second, deal with these trees, and then continue the time lapse. So the garbage stand is almost done. We can push people inside to finish the construction really fast. And the gallery art needs to wait a little bit more. Now, traffic jam, let's check it out. This is an issue that happens if you put the truck, wait until loaded. He's going to block everything. So, can't do that in here. Just make sure you uncheck wait until loaded. Alright, let's move on with the time lapse. Okay, so gallery is done, so we can focus a little bit on some decoration right now. So how about a fountain here and trees? A lot of trees. So I'm thinking some taller trees around the gallery, because these are not gonna block the view of people. These are probably gonna block the view. Should have done some shorter trees there. Anyways, just keep going. How about some on the back? It's kind of empty here. Now let's try some flowers here. These kind of don't fit. But these do fit. So let's try a couple of these. Now, how about some bushes? Random amount of bushes. Now this area is kind of footpath leading into the gallery, so I thought I could use shorter trees. Around the footpath. Now this area kind of looks very empty, so let's just do the big trees, fill up a couple of gaps. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do right now. Now I notice people are dying, but I didn't notice why. And I'm just gonna put in some Western immigrants. So instead of trying to figure out why people are dying, I'm gonna go to the first city and take some educated people and send them into the city. And guess what? They're gonna die because I didn't deal with the problem. So that's a bad move. That's a really bad move. It's gonna cost me a lot, actually. So I kind of noticed garbage is piling up, and I even went to the technical office, and I still didn't realize what's happening. I was thinking, oh, I don't have enough waste trucks. But no, for some weird, I don't know what reason, all the sources for technical office have been deselected and cancelled. This usually happens if technical office loses connection with the source building. But the game doesn't tell you that this happened, and the trucks just stop going out, and you barely notice what's happening until it's kind of too late. So I still did notice that I'm gonna buy 3 small trucks to start exploding the waste. I've been thinking what to do in this area here for a long time. There's this gap that I didn't figure out what can I do. So I thought maybe I could do this building. Kind of fits nicely. But for some reason, I don't know why, I decided to change. So I decided to do another gallery, I guess because this building is really small and really easy to build, and it's really cheap. Money's really tight. So I guess that was the main reason. Alright, let's move on. Let's fill in the trees in the area we built, and let's do another time lapse. Okay, let's do some tall trees here. I kind of feel they fit nicely. And they don't really block any view for the people. Also, that monument is done. That's nice. Let's check the monument out. Good, it really fits nicely here. Okay, so let's go into another time lapse. The reason why I'm doing so many time lapses, I'm trying to speed up the game and catch up with my pre-recorded material. I'm too far ahead. So I still didn't realize what's happening, and I set up a free dump for mixed waste. And I'm gonna buy 3 waste trucks to send it to the border. So this is gonna speed up things, but still, I'm gonna realize really soon what's happening. And finally I realize what's happening. I think about 400 people died by now, which is a big issue for the city, and the problem is a lot of educated people died. That's the biggest issue right now. It's gonna take some time for me to bounce back, and things have slowed down drastically. There was not enough people to send into construction offices. And I also bought like 9 new trucks, but it's not a waste because I'm still gonna build a new technical office, so I'm just gonna send the new trucks into this office. So at least that's not a big waste. So again, back into having nothing to do while things are being built. So this means let's go into another time skip. So the harbor is finally done. It took ages. There's not enough for this episode, but definitely next one episode a big ship is coming. It's damn expensive. It's insanely expensive. The new one is like 1.5 million, I believe. And I noticed there's a really cheap one for like 900, but it's like 60% broken, so I'm not gonna buy that one. Okay, so let's do a couple of more things before we check the episode. I want to check the city if everything's okay. Of course, there's not enough educated people, they all died, so... I'm probably gonna import a lot of educated from the first city. Pumping Harbor is not yet done, but there's like 3 buildings left here for the Pumping Harbor to be finished. This area here is not working as I intended, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. Just doesn't work. I'll demolish that one once it's empty. And I forgot to turn on the technical office. Yeah, I always do. I'm not sure why this one is not being repaired. But this kind of things usually fix by themselves, so I'm gonna leave it now. I'm gonna come back later and check what's happening. So we have our first oil. This is really good. Only thing left is when this pump finishes, all the oil pumps are going to be able to send the oil into the fuel tank. So this is really good. We're gonna start exporting oil in the next episode, 100%. Well, that also means we're gonna have to go into like another 2 million debt, but no choice. Okay, so air traffic is done, and we can go into firefighting helicopters. This is something I want right now. Anytime if there's a fire right now in the oil pumps, it's game over. Let's rename this cinema into Kino, I guess. And the monitoring station is done. I really want to see how's the pollution in this city. I'm expecting it to be much better compared to the first one. And yeah, it's actually not bad. It's really good, actually. All the buildings are kind of away. There's a small orange spot there, but that's not an issue. All other buildings are kind of too yellow and rest of them is green, so there won't be any issues here. Okay, now let's check the first city and see if everything's okay and we can finish the episode. So this episode was a little bit too quick, a lot of time lapses, but it's really hard to make any content right now. I can't build anything, I don't have enough money, and the only thing I can build are the oil pumps, and they are way too far away, so things are super slow. But things are gonna pick up really soon. And I'm missing a garbage stand here, of course I do. So things are gonna pick up really soon and it's gonna be really much more interesting. I'm really looking forward to start exporting oil. I am tired of this slow game. Okay, let's deal with this. And we can finish the game. Spring is here. Thank you so much for watching until the end. This is episode 28. See you in the next one.